Hi artists! To get started on our really cute rabbit, we're going to be making the head. Now first I'm holding my paper up and down. Usually we hold it side to side, but today since rabbits have really tall ears, we're going to be holding it up and down. I'm not going to start at the tippy top, I'm going to find my way somewhere down in the middle, and I'm going to start with a rainbow shape. Now I don't want it to be a teeny tiny one because then my rabbit will be very small. I want it to really go from one side of the page to the other. So I'm going to start with a rainbow shape here. Okay, like a half of a circle. Then you're just going to go down straight just a little bit, straight on the sides. And then we're going to kind of go out just a little bit. So see how it's a rainbow that goes straight down and a little out. Rainbow that goes straight down and a little out. Take your time with that. After we have that, now we're going to make a big smiley face to connect it all. Okay, big smiley face. It's always helpful to watch first. We're going to make a big smiley face. See how it kind of goes down, around, and then back up. You do have your handy dandy eraser, so if you don't like the way it looks, you can either erase it, try again, or flip it over to the back of the page. The next part's going to be our rabbit's ears. These are very tall, so now we're really looking towards the top of our paper here. We're going to just use any type of tall line with a little point on the top and heading back down. Very nice. Of course, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but maybe if you want your rabbit's ears to be floppy, you can do something like this where you stop halfway, then you go out to the side, and then you come back in, not all the way, close, and then somewhere over here, you're going straight down. So you can either have two tall ears, or maybe you want one tall and one floppy. You're the artist. Make that choice. Now, of course, our rabbit is really just a floating head right now, so let's get a neck, body. We won't see all of it, just a little bit. So just like with our self-portraits, one side of your head down to the edge of the paper, other side of your head down to the edge of the paper. Look at that. Looks really good. There's the start of our rabbit. The next part, we're going to want to start to make the face of our rabbit, the nose and all that other stuff. In the center, and you can use a circle tracer for this if you want, or you can just draw it yourself. If you are using a circle tracer, I love using the bottom of a cup, just any kind of drinking cup will do. And I can trace all the way around. Artists love using little tricks. So that's going to help me get the nose, mouth area of the rabbit. The next thing we want to do is we're going to make the nose with a small letter U in the middle. So we're going to see something that kind of looks like that. And then we're going to go down into our mouth with a straight line, and then sort of like a W off to one side, off to the other side. How cute is that looking? All right, let's make some eyes for this cute guy. And so this is going to start somewhere under your ear. We're just going to kind of draw lightly and come in a little bit. And you see where this little groove was before? We're just going to turn and kind of come out to there. Draw lightly. You might not like the way it turns out. You might want to fix it. So again, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, starting from the bottom of my ear. Very lightly in case I don't like it, or in case it doesn't match the way I want it to. Sort of like I'm skiing down towards the middle of the head. And then I'm going to loop around and make it to over here. Awesome. I like the way this looks so far. The next step is those cute little rabbit eyes. We're going to make a big 0 in the middle. Big 0 in the middle. And just for fun, if you want to, I know sometimes we want to make our eyes look really cute and shiny. You can make that little circle or whatever kind of shape you want in the center, and we'll leave that white later on. So this is really it for the drawing, because the rest of this we will be doing in Sharpie to give it that texture. thing we want to do to set us up for that is just make a few very light lines. So I'm just going to start from one side of my eye and do a copycat version of the line above. A little rainbow from one side to the other, so light it's like you're tickling the paper, you can barely see it. Leave some space, do the same thing, and I'm just gonna keep heading all the way through until I get to the bottom. Now they don't need to go curved anymore. As you get down in here, you can just go straight across. Now one thing you want to be careful with is stop when you hit your circle and then continue on the other side. Don't go through the circle. You'll see why later. And again, still drawing very lightly. Stop when I hit the circle. Boop, 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 boop. Continue on the other side. I think I have space for one more. Stop, other side. Let's do the same thing for your body. Now we got some stripes in here, and the final thing is the same thing in the ears, just a few little stripes there. Awesome. The hard part's done. Now we're just going to use our Sharpie for the rest of this. The first part's pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to Sharpie everything. The only thing we don't want to outline is those little lines that we just made all over. Otherwise, we are doing our circle with our nose, our mouth, our eyes, and the whole outline of the rabbit also. So I'm gonna start outlining mine. You can start outlining yours. Remember, make sure you like it first. Once you go to that marker, there's no going back. Just thinking, how fun would it be if you did a little bow tie or the flower in the ear? So I don't know, I'm gonna get creative with that. I'm just gonna add a cute little flower. I just thought of this idea right now. Artists are always using their imagination. All right, and then I just want a bow tie. I don't know why I thought about this just now. I think it would be so cute. I'm thinking about Easter actually. It's a nice time to get dressed up and see your family. So I just did 2 triangles with a little circle in the middle, and that's about it. So I'm gonna continue outlining. I'm gonna do my nose, mouth, and my eyes, and I am going to do these curved lines. Alright, I outlined all the pieces that I need to. Remember, we're not doing those lines all the way across. We're going to use those for something else. Alright, so for the lines in our rabbit, we're going to use these lines as a guide. And we're just going to make some, what I like to call soldiers, kind of all standing in a row. Boop, boop, boop. So I'm going to start from my ear and keep it simple. Let me zoom in here for us. And what I want to do is find these lines and start making some lines all in a row. Just like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing in the next row. They don't need to touch. That's the fun part of this. You do want them to use this line as a guide. See how they all kind of end in the same space there? So I'm just going to keep going all the way. It takes time, so maybe you want to put on some music. You might not want it on your flower, so it's okay to kind of tuck it behind there. There's my first ear. I'm going to continue to do that for all of my different sections. If you did make a bent ear, you might want to turn it this way. That will look really cool because it'll help it look like the ear is turned that way because the lines are turned that way. If your ears go straight up, then you can make the match. All right, I'm gonna keep making my stand up toy soldier lines and we will meet back in a little bit. Just gonna keep it going all the way and then into my body. All right. Okay, so I did this on purpose here. I'm showing you that the more lines you make, the more interesting it's going to look. There's no certain amount that you have to make, but as you can see, the more I make and the closer they are, the more of that feeling of hair and texture. If you're only making a few, it's gonna look like your rabbit really doesn't have hair, like maybe all of its hair fell out and there's just like a few pieces. So think about how fluffy you want your rabbit to be. If you're noticing, yeah, I kind of left too much space, I didn't make enough, go ahead, take this time, come back in and add more. Okay, I'm loving the way that this is looking so far. Wow, so many ideas that are running through my mind. So I'm thinking I want beautiful long eyelashes. So I can start to make more lines. I can even make them really thick. And they could go right off the edge. They can really fill it up in here. They could be like a sun, and they can go all the way around. How fun is that? It's still, if you go all the way around, it might not even look like eyelashes. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't really know if I want it to be a boy or a girl, but I do like the way it looks, then go ahead, fill it in. You can also leave this step blank if you want to. You're the artist, you're in charge. Okay, oh, I just love the way this looks. The next step for this is gonna be really to think about the background because the rabbit's done. So you have a choice. You can cut your rabbit out and glue it onto maybe a paper bag or a piece from a magazine or construction paper. You can take this time and make flowers behind it. So I'm gonna take a moment and think about what I wanna do. I know I wanna color my nose pink, so I'm gonna do that now. I know I wanna color my flower, so I'm gonna do that now. And then I'll think about what else I wanna do. Just going back, making my mouth thicker. I thought the lines kind of got lost. My rabbit also needs to breathe, so I'm gonna add little holes for its nose to breathe. And then rabbits do have small little whiskers, so just for fun, I'm gonna add a few of those. All right, I love the way I colored this. You can leave it here if you celebrate Easter. Maybe you wanna write Happy Easter. Maybe you wanna write Happy Spring. Maybe you're like me, I'm just so excited for it to be nice weather. We can play outside. There's just so many things you can do. Maybe you want to draw a whole bunch of flowers or butterflies or anything else that reminds you of spring. Maybe you want it to be just the sky with blue and make some fun clouds and then color it in blue. You can cut the whole thing out. I am actually going to make a few of these and just show you a whole bunch of different options. And then you can either use one that you like or feel free to get creative with your own idea. All right, see you in a little bit.